Aloha, Honolulu! Data here with episode 39 of the Honolulu Huskies Custom Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode, coming into the 2032-2033 regular season. Year number 14. Can you believe it? We have been flying through this series. We were Stanley Cup champions in years number 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 4 in a row, and we are now going for 5 in year number 14. We've also won 7 consecutive President's Trophies, so this year we're going for 8. We are a powerhouse of a team, but in the last episode we came to the realization that it cannot last forever, not just because contracts are running out, but because fantastic, crazy steal contracts are running out. Like Quinn Hughes making $7.3 million is going to run out. Mats Lindback making $5.7 million is going to run out. Barker we're trading at 4.4, so all worried. Morozov and Binnington aren't going to want to make only 1.2 next season. Down the road, Trevor Wong's not going to be making only $5 million, and so forth. So we have some moves to make. We had some questions. We had to figure out the fourth line. We had to figure out the second pair D. We were a bit confused on the goalies, a lot of different possibilities. So let's hop straight into the comments right now and get into it. So at the end of last episode, I suggested a permutation where I would send Kaigorodov down to the minors since he's still in his rookie season, even though he's listed as a top 6D. We just play him for half a season in the minors. We bring Popovich onto the full-time top 6. And then once Quinn Hughes gets traded at the trade deadline, then Kaigorodov gets called up. Louis Mallard says defense permutation, the one that I said, is the move, and Quinn Hughes has to be moved before the deadline, no-brainer. But it's tough. There aren't really many options. You'll really have to dig. Concerning the goalie situation, Rhode Island Roundnet says, I think you are safe leading Supra in the juniors without wasting a year of the ELC. Whenever I do that, the contract gets pushed back a year, or whenever they start playing in the pros. It seems like a glitch, but definitely something you can exploit in this situation. So I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is, that would be beautiful for us, because Guy Supra at an 80 overall is not quite, well, he is good enough to make the NHL, but Steven Beck is our 84 overall backup, being paid only $1.325 million. So I'd like to keep Guy Supra in the AHL, but it seems as though he can't be there because of his junior contract. So hopefully it won't burn a year of his ELC with playing in the QMJHL. We still need to figure out Almqvist, if we're going to trade him or what, because he is listed as a starting goalie, and currently he'd be our starter in the AHL, so we can't really do that. That's another person that we trade, perhaps. MVL1 2K7, why not play Shannon on the second line and trade Hughes at the deadline as well? I replied to him that the reason I didn't do that is because Quinn Shannon on the third line here would give it the +5, and I don't usually care for chemistry too much in terms of like making it, like I'd rather play an 88 on the second line and get a +1 than play him on the third line and get a +5 sometimes. But in this situation, we did the experiment last season. He had 71 points and 39 goals. Cole Perfetti won the Conn Smythe and during the regular season put up career high 79 points, and then Reed Pitton as well as a member of that third line put up 80 points. So I'm going to keep the third line as it is for now. Hopefully it really works out again, and I'll put the rookie Sheldon Marchand up on the second line. Even though he's 81 overall, I'm sure he'll grow with that medium league potential as a sniper with 5-star shooting, playing with the king playmaker that is Trevor Wong with 468 assists in his career, 65 assists last season. What a monster. A few comments concerning what I'm going to be doing next season, specifically from Noah M. With having a couple more seasons left, do you have plans for another franchise mode series after this one? I do have a few ideas. I'm going to give suggestions to all of you and you can decide. But for now, I think the hard max would be 2 more seasons. I'm definitely, we're already here. We're playing this one for sure. If we win a 5th straight Stanley Cup, I don't know if I'm going to go for a 6th season, but we'll see what happens. I think that next year is a solid possibility, but after that, I think I definitely want to just sim the last maybe 10 years or 8, 9, 10 years or so and just wrap it up and get a new series going. But it would be nice to see Duke Silver and all the created players retire, but at the age of 31, he probably still has another 7 or 8 seasons left in him at least. And last comment here coming from Zirzara. He says, saw the Markstrom draft and thought it would be fun for you to try to pronounce the name of the team the Swedish way. I drafted a player. Hold on, let me show you. He was a forward, unsigned. Where is he? Here he is, Markstrom. He was playing in the SHL on HV71, I called it. But he says, here's some Swedish and try to say it how it spells. So here we go. HV is who, V, but then he says the E is more like an A, ve, so Huve. Then 71 is Shutioet. We'll grade you next video. So Huve Shutioet. I hope I got that all right. Let me know what you thought about it, Zirzara. So I'm slowly becoming a linguist of the Scandinavian countries here with all these names over the past two franchise modes of NHL 20. But it's been over like 40 seasons that we've done now in terms of playing and simming. So here we are in 2032. The only move that I really have to make, aside from the ones that we spoke about of Quinn Hughes and the defense and everything, is Gustav Suglobov. I can't have him as my fourth line center. I'd like to get a different one. I've done a lot of pre-scouting into who I could go out and get. I sorted the entire NHL by their face-offs, their shot blocking, their contract, their age, and it came down to about 5 options, and these are the 2 that I'm looking at. Just like last season, I'm still looking at Kovanov. 81 overall, 32 years old, 1 year, making $2 million. He has great defense with, only 3.5 stars to be honest, but all those stats in the mid-80s with 84 defensive awareness, 84 faceoffs, etc. His stats aren't really the most attractive, but when you look at what he's done in Carolina, last season put up 30 points. The year before in Ottawa put up 32 points, put up 44 in Edmonton not long before that. He's not a bad player. He seems to simulate well, even though his stats may not be the craziest. But then the other option that I have is over on the Nashville Predators, another center, Hendrix Lapierre, I believe. Hendrix Lapierre, 30 years old, 80 overall, making only $1 million, which is great. He has the 4.5-star puck skills, 4.5-star senses, 3.5-star defense. So he's a bit better at shot blocking and stick checking. He's worse at face-offs. He's worse at skating. But aside from that, his puck skills are way, way better than Kovanov. Looking at the stats that he has gotten in his career, he put up 57 points in the AHL last season. In the NHL, hasn't done much, 31 points in 117 games. So that's why, to be honest, with such low trade value, I think I want to trade for both of them. I'll make Kovanov my fourth line center, and Lapierre can be my depth for the fourth line if ever anybody gets injured. So I think I'm going to try and go out and trade for both of them, since both of their trade values are pretty low, to be honest. I still need to trade Carson Barker. I still need to trade Almqvist here, going to my goalies. So there's still moves that I have to make now. Fortunately, I can wait to make the Quinn Hughes trade. I'm not even going to make it this episode, to be honest, Quinn Hughes. I'm going to go ahead and stop this episode at the trade deadline, and then we'll go ahead and check the trade blocks. We'll see where we are as a team, who's available, and then we'll decide that moving into the next episode. So this episode will stop in February. It won't go all the way to the end of the season, but the only moves, like I said, Barker and Almqvist. So first I'm going to go ahead and trade for those centers. It won't cost a lot to get them, and then we're going to go ahead and trade those bigger pieces. If this goes through, give them Gustav Suglobov, Dansk, a medium top 6D prospect. He's 20 years old, 6'4", only 59 overall. So I think I'm going to go ahead and part ways with him. And a 4th round pick in this draft. Trade rejected. I'm going to be making back a lot of draft picks, to be honest, once I make those trades with Almqvist and Barker. So I'm not afraid to lose a few picks here. I could even give them a 3rd round pick, so I know I'm going to be taking back some firsts in that trade that I'll be making soon. Doesn't make that, well, I think that I beg to differ. This is a pretty good trade. For a rebuilding team, a 3rd round pick. Come on, boys. I'll give you a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. Try a 2nd and a 3rd. Trade accepted. Okay, I was about to start buzzing my head there. A 2nd and a 3rd. Those other 2 pieces were just garbage. So pretty much a 2nd and a 3rd round pick for a good 4th line center. A bit of an overpay, but like I said, I'm about to be making back a lot of picks, like too many picks, when I trade Barker and Almqvist. So I don't mind taking a little bit of a hit right now because I'm about to be flooded in riches of draft picks. Kovanov is a playmaker, gives it a +1. Playmaker, sniper on the 4th line. He doesn't really fit the 4th line super well if it's the 1st line, but whatever. I'll take the +1 with no problem. Then I'll just take Lapierre from the Predators for depth for the forwards. Another reason that these trades make sense is that these teams have a lot of center depth. Like Lati can be called up and become their 4th line center. So it's not like I'm stripping them of a guy who's actually playing their 3rd line. It's a guy that they actually have a bit of room to play, a position that they have a bit of room to play at. They want Skylar Bitts here, a 4th round pick, center, 19 years old, 63 overall, low top 6 potential. This should probably go through straight up. Skylar Bitts for Hendrix Lapierre. They still don't want to do it, so I'll just make it a little sweeter. Also, just to note, I kept saying last episode that Trevor Wong was a Islanders draft pick. He was actually a Blues draft pick. That's the team that I got him from, the St. Louis Blues, not the New York Islanders. When I won the Stanley Cup, 2 episodes ago, I was talking about how Tolvanen and Wong both came from the Islanders, but it was just Tolvanen from the Islanders. What else can we throw in here? 19 years old, 57 overall, Walters, Jackson Walters, 6th round pick. Yeah, we can throw him in. Jackson Walters and Skylar Bitts straight up. Yeah, they're dancing in the streets. Look at the trade value on that. I can take back a pick even. A 3rd this year and a 4th and a 6th next year? Pff, okay, I won't push my luck. I'll take it. A 3rd this year and a 4th and a 6th next year. Thank you very much, Nashville. I got some more picks in the system. I'm just Scrooge McDuck swimming around in his draft picks. So now we have to figure out what are we going to trade Almqvist and Barker for. I clicked on Find Trade, but these menus are so broken that it wouldn't let me go there. Let's try it again. Find Trade. So if I go to trade Carson Barker, what would the league be offering me? How many trades? Seems like it's loading a bit, so I'm hoping for a decent amount. 14 trades. I get a 1st and 2/3 with Reed from the Bruins. I get a prospect and the same thing instead of a 1st. Interesting. It seems like there's decent prospects, medium top 6s. Rupe Hintz, a 3rd and a 4th. No. It's 2 seconds. Mason Appleton, Jamie Drysdale. Drysdale's not who he used to be, though, nor has he really grown in NHL. Rume and a 1st from the Kings. See, I want to retool the AHL, so I want to not just take back picks, I want prospects, but I don't want to trade him to a rival like LA. 2 seconds and Letang. 2/3 defensive prospect. No, I need forward prospects. Okay, this is interesting from the Senators. Jennings, a medium top 6 prospect and a 1st round pick. Or Platt. He has 3 years, he has 2 years left. Or Elias. Or 2 1st round picks. Interesting, from the Canucks. 2 firsts from the Canucks. You know what? I'd rather trade him to Ottawa, though, I think. Jennings, Platt, Elias. Let's see who the best prospect of those 3 are. Jennings, 77 overall, 19 years old. Platt, 73, 22. Yeah, that's an easy choice. I would take Jennings all day. Gale Jennings, 1st round pick, 7th overall. Really? He was a 7th overall pick in last year's draft. Really, huh? He has decent stats for a centerman, playmaker. Like, his faceoffs aren't bad. He could grow. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that deal. Unless I could package Barker and Almqvist for something. But I suspect that if I tried to do that, they would just say no trades available. But let me just quickly do my due diligence as always. Go to goalies. That's a lot of trade value, Barker and Almqvist. So yeah, I doubt. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and make that trade right away. I'm going to make, I'm going to go ahead and make the Barker to the Ottawa Senators deal happen. Barker never really fit here. He just reminds me of my failure with the Damian Anthony situation. So the Senators, what kind of team are they? That 1st round pick? They're a hopeful. No, they're a champion. Okay, so 1st round pick's a 1st round pick, though, and the prospect is solid to go along with it. So I will take Jennings. I will take the 1st round pick. Oh, it's 2034 first. Even better, to be honest. Maybe they won't be as good because Barker is on a 1-year deal, so hopefully they won't be able to re-sign him. So I'll take the 1st, and I don't know, I'll take a 4th this year and a 6th next year. How does that sound? What do you say, Ottawa? Trade rejected, bit low. Okay, I'll take out the 6th, just throw in a 4th. Still trade, okay. Fair enough. So they want to give me the 1st and the prospect. I just want them to throw in a 6th round pick next season with it. Trade accepted. Thank you very much, Ottawa. Good luck in Ottawa. Mr. Barker never really worked out here, like I said. I don't know what he'll do in Ottawa or if he'll even be able to re-sign there, so hopefully that 1st round pick next season is very good for us, but we got him off the books, another $4 million saved, and 1 more trade value piece moved off the team. Now we just got to figure out what are we doing with Almqvist. He has a lot of trade value. Magnus Almqvist does, a 2nd round pick in 2028. I would love to keep him as my future starter if it was not for Guy Supre, who is my future starter. Bentley is my current starter. Beck could be my future starter even. Many different options, but with Beck being 3 overall higher at just a year older and 2 years at 1.3, while Almqvist's on the last year of his entry-level deal, I think I'd rather go back up Beck and trade Almqvist. I gotta try and make a trade that gives me a good San Diego starter, as well as any other prospects that I could find. So if I go to find trade, no trades found, so I'm gonna have to go out and do it myself. Also, just to make note of Barker's stats, 31 goals in 82 games that he played with us, 50 points. Wasn't anything really crazy. He didn't have a point total that low since the 2024-2025 season, so it was a bit disappointing. Even though he scored 31 goals, he just didn't put up the points on in our lineup with a plus 12. And then during the playoffs, he only had 5 points in 19 games and was a -6. So for those reasons, that's why Barker had to leave. Also, just a side note that the Senators have Marco Rossi on their team. He was drafted by the Islanders. He did nothing. Went to the Senators, 52 points, 44 points, -33. Then he exploded, 74, 79. And now he has full bar trade value almost, 88 overall. Only making 6.3 because they picked him up at a steal for 4 more years. So just note that it is nice to see that there are AI-controlled general managers who do know what they're doing and have built good teams for themselves. And it's not just me playing with a bunch of mindless drones. So before I can trade Almqvist, I need to sign a goalie so that I won't have too few goalies. So I sent out an offer to a free agent, Derek Roche. Welcome to the team. Now I can go ahead and do that. So I had mentioned earlier that I wanted to take back a goalie for San Diego, but the only teams that were interested in Almqvist were Florida, Minnesota, and Toronto, and none of them had any good goalies like at all in their system. So Almqvist could go to Florida. I'm looking to take back Stan Jones, 76 overall, medium top 6, 21-year-old, first round pick in 2029, power forward, 3.5-star shooting, 3.5-star puck skills, 4-star physical. Looks pretty decent for a prospect. Could do well in San Diego. Kuparainen as well, low elite, 21 years old, 73 overall, power forward, another one for San Diego, just to try and retool the team down there, and then to also throw in a couple seconds. Instead of taking, I would want to take out Kuparainen and throw in a first, but they are considered a rebuilder team, so their first is just way too valuable. I'd have to trade Almqvist maybe straight up for it, and I'd rather take back prospects and picks than just picks this deep in the franchise mode as well, especially since we have a fair amount of picks. We have a first, second, 2/3, 2/4. I don't know. I'm down to just take back a couple seconds instead of just a first, because then once the system gets too packed with prospects, it's just a mess, as we've already seen in this franchise mode. So I'm going to try and take back all these pieces for Almqvist. What do you think, Florida? Too far off? Try to replace a second-round pick next year with a third and a fourth-round pick next year. Hopefully this will be a rebuilder status, 3 and 4. What do you say to that, boys? Let's try a second-round pick this season and a sixth-round pick next season. My apologies, Florida. A second-round pick this season and a seventh-round pick next season. Okay, why do you keep saying just a touch if it's not just a touch? Oh my goodness, these guys. Okay, you give me the second. I'll give you the sixth. How about you? And I want you to give me a seventh back as well. My goodness, they're such liars, these guys. Sweeten it just a touch. It's never just a touch. Oh my goodness. Okay. Almqvist and a sixth-round pick for 2 prospects and a second-round pick. Thank you very much, Florida. Let's go ahead and fix up these lines, get through the preseason, and get this season started. So penalty kill and power play and all that good stuff is figured out. Ruslan Kasparaitis, 6'2", 280, I believe, something like 77 overall. He'll be our defensive depth for this just up until the trade deadline, since I wouldn't want to call up Kaigorodov, I don't think. Kuznetsov for Gregoire, what an interesting deal that would be. But just to have him as depth in case it's needed. I don't know if I would call up someone from San Diego, perhaps, but just to have him there, I gave him a signing. Also, Lapierre, just as a reminder, is our forward depth going through the preseason here. I'll show you the power play and the penalty kill, what I did in a moment, as well as we have to hire some new coaches. We need a new associate coach, and we need new AHL, I think, goalie coach, NHL goalie coach, something like that. I don't know. 10 points in 5 games for Quinn Hughes thus far. Another win there. We are 5-0-1. We finish it off against Vegas, and it is a, hold on, salary cap compliance. It is a 4-3 shootout loss. 11 points in 7 games for Cole Perfetti. 5-0-2 is our record through the 7 preseason games. Cole Perfetti and Quinn Hughes, 11 points apiece. Duke Silver, Reed Pitton with 8. Anderson Wong, 7. Shannon Tolvanen, 6. Pittis, Kovanov, looking good, 5 there. Plus minus of 13 from Menino, so that's great. Looks like everyone did all right in the plus minus category, mostly. And a lot of people chipping in for the points. Check the goalies. Saul Bentley, 4-0-2, 927. Save percentage, very nice. And Steven Beck came in. He saw 28 shots, made 25 saves. Not too shabby for him. So let me just quickly show you the lineup for this season. As you've already seen, the forward lines and the defense lines. These menus are so slow, man. Tolvanen, Silver, Pelech +5, Marchand, Wong, Pittis +1, Pitten, Perfetti, Shannon +5, Morozov, Kovanov, Binnington +1. On defense, we all know it, we've seen it, we love it. For special teams, the power play looks like this, +5, +1. I'm going to try Pelech on the first unit this year since he has such great shooting stats. I want to put him with Wong as the playmaker, try and feed him instead of Tolvanen this season. Tolvanen will play on the second unit. No room for Marchand, but since Pitten and Shannon are playing third line and Marchand is playing second line, I think it works out to not have him on the power play. He is on the four-man power play because I do want him to grow, just that he doesn't really quite fit right now. Maybe when Quinn Hughes is gone, we'll have an opening. On the penalty kill is tough. Perfetti and Kovanov is a bit of a weaker line overall-wise, but Perfetti, look at those defensive stats. 85, 85, 91, 93. Kovanov, 84, 84, 83, 86. Shannon as well on defense is a monster. So hopefully these penalty kill lines work. If not, we'll have to fix them as we go. There are the goalies. Scratches is Lapierre as well as the defenseman that I just signed. Kasperitis right here, call him up. So there he is. He's 73. Oh no, I guess that was a mistake. I was supposed to send him down and call someone from San Diego up. Oh no, I signed Kasperitis because I was looking forward to calling up Kaigorodov up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be the new San Diego, and then that guy I just signed would be depth in San Diego. So for now, we'll play with no depth at defense in the NHL. But if Kasperitis is needed, I guess he could play a couple games or something. It's not the same without Big Kyle Wood in the press box, but now that was a long intro to the season. Thankfully, we'll be stopping it around February, so hopefully we can get a good chunk of simulation done. I don't really care to go see the Senators much. Carson Burker, don't care much for him. Let's go ahead and go see... Why not the Florida Panthers to open up the season with Almqvist between the pipes? Let's go check them out. That'll give us a good chunk of the month of October to see what we're looking like. Ooh, Popovich, mild concussion here, but he's only out till October 19th, which is just around the corner. So this is a situation where I'm not afraid to put Kasperitis in just for a few games since it won't really do anything. Now Popovich is back, so he'll come right back in. I think he just played 1 or 2 games. Kasperitis did 1 game, 14 minutes of ice time, no plus minus, nothing, just a solid outing. Great job, Bells. Popovich is back in. We are 3-0-2 to begin the season. Make that 4-0-2 with a win against the Capitals, Senators again, and then the Wild. We lost in overtime, shootout, and overtime. Haven't lost in regulation yet, and there it is. 6-5 loss against the Rangers. We are 5-1-2 now. Playing the Wild for the second time in a week. We beat them 6-0. 2-1 loss against the Jets. Dallas Stars, we want to make them lose, so there we go. It's flying by because we have their second round pick. We beat them 4-3, then we shut out the Jets 5-0. We're 8-2-2 through our first 12 games. Beat the Leafs 4-1. Rangers beat us 6-5 last time. They beat us 5-4 in overtime this time. The Panthers are 6-7-1. We are 9-2-3 as we come up to face them for the first simulated game of our season here in the early first week of November. So first period here, 4-2 Huskies. Marchand, Popovich, Anderson, and Pelech scoring on Magnus Almqvist. Renberg and Christie scoring on Saul Bentley. We got 4 goals on 9 shots. My goodness. Second period, oh wow, 4-4. Christie scores his second, and Williams, a former prospect of ours, scores as well. So we've allowed 4 goals on 19 shots, but Eli Tolvanen gives us that lead, restores it by just a margin of 1. 5-4 is the score as he scored 45 seconds into the period, but then Sadikov comes right back. 10 goals scored through the first 50 minutes of this game. Just 6 to go now, 5 to go. Power play for the Panthers. We kill it off. Are we headed to overtime with 20 seconds left? Yes, we are. 5-5 here in overtime. Who is going to take it? And the Huskies. Duke Silver, the captain. 6 goals on 39 shots, and the Huskies take it in overtime for their 10th win of the season. Goal and 2 assists for Duke Silver, and that is another W for the boys. Just taking a quick glance at the contract situation as well. Next season, we're going to have $25.195 million in extension dollars. So Mats Lindback right now wants 4 years for 8.875. If you go less or more, it increases. So I'm going to try and see if I can get him for 4 years at $9 million. He doesn't want the extension, so we'll see what he would say to a contract like that. As well, Quinn Hughes, even though he would take the 85% rule, 13.125 would still be somewhere in the 12s or even high 11s. So I can't. I'll probably be in the 11s, but still too much money for me to pay. So if I dedicate $9 million to Mats Lindback, and Skylar Pelech wants something like 12.8, it's pushing it, but I could still get it done, I think. If I could get 8 years, 13 million for Skylar Pelech, that would be great. But neither of them want the extension, so I don't think they would take it. But we do have a good amount of extension dollars available, which is the good part. So we'll see what they say to those contracts, but for now, let's do another 3 weeks of simulation and go see Jinkyo Chong and the Colorado Avalanche. We haven't seen a lot of our created players recently. Pelech rejected that deal, unfortunately, so it's going to cost us more than $13 million to extend him. We lose 5-3 to the Bruins. Where's Mats Lindback at? And he also rejects. Great. So $9 million for Lindback and 13 million for Pelech. Sorry, $9 million for Lindback and 13 million for Pelech. Both get rejected. So that's 22 million right there, and we have 25 million to use. So it's going to be tight. 4-2 win against the Hawks, 8-3 win against the Sabres, 2-0 shutout win against the Canucks, 7-4 loss, goodness, against the Coyotes, 4-3 win against the Oilers. We're 14-4-3. I know Pilstrom's injured down in San Diego. 4-2 win against the LA Kings, and then a 3-2 win against the Flames. We are 16-4-3 through our first 23 games of the season. Let's take on the 10-7-6 Colorado Avalanche, who have fallen from grace a little bit over the years here, although they did have a very successful campaign last season, making it to the Western Conference Finals, I believe. First period, oh goodness, Reed Pitton, Quinn Shannon, and Reed Pitton again on Sandro Tommy, one of the created players who has found his way to Colorado. I think that's his fourth team that he's been on, third or fourth team. But 2 goals for Reed Pitton that period. Then 6-0, my goodness. 2 for Shannon now. Machin and Pelech, 6-0 Huskies. Let's just call it a day. 7-1. Quinn Shannon tops off the hat trick. Sheesh. 3 goals and an assist for Shannon, 2 goals for Pitton, 3 assists for Perfetti. That third line is just insane. You love to see it when they just keep exploding offensively. Stefan Nylander injured in San Diego. Now we'll keep on rolling into the month of December before we take a pause. Things are going pretty well. 17-4-3 is our record, so I think we'll take a pause to look at our points and a look around the league after this match against the Nashville Predators, who are 17-4-0. We play them next week, but let's go see the second time that we play them a week or 2 after that. Hey, Ezra Pittis, sore hip. Come on, Bello. Just push through. So Pitton will move up, Binnington will move up, and then Lapierre will come in on the 4th line as a 2-way forward here. Gives it a 0, but that's okay. Oh, I say to fill all lines. Then I have to spend a half hour fixing all the 4-man penalty kill, the 3-on-3, the extra attacker, the shootout. Lapierre, enjoy the ice time because I'm not fixing up everything just every time there's an injury, changing different permutations and different lineups and this guy's chemistry with him, but now I replace him, he gets promoted. I don't have time to do that 100 times a season. So 4-3 win against the Coyotes, 4-3 win against the Avalanche. Stan Jones now has a sprained ankle. It's the year of the injury. Okay, my goodness. 3-2 shootout win against the Predators. Ezra Pittis is back, but not really. Dallas Stars, who are 16-12-0. We beat them 4-3. Canucks, we beat them 4-1. Wow, then a 9-6 loss against the Blackhawks. And then Isaac Sutter has an MCL sprain. What's going on? Okay, everything's fixed up in NHL and AHL, thankfully. We're definitely going to have to take that pause in just a minute to check how things are going. Because I know we're 24-5-3 and oh my goodness, head coach replaced player, separated shoulder, then he's available, best lines, whatever. Oh goodness, 4-1 win, and then he has a concussion. Okay, best lines again. 4-1 win against the Devils. Vegas are a pretty half-decent team. We beat them 6-2, great. Okay, the Predators are 25-4-1. We're 26-5-3. This is quite the matchup. The Predators are stronger than they've ever been, and they're giving us the closest run for best team in the NHL that we've had in a long while. So let's get it going. First period, 1-0 Predators. Joe Veleno on the power play. Second period, 1-1 as Quinn Shannon ties it up on Gustafsson. tie. 5-on-3 power play for the Predators. 5-on-4. Oh boy, we kill off the entire 5-on-3 and 5-on-4. Very well done by the penalty killers. Halfway through the third, shots are pretty even. Power play again for the Predators. We kill it off again. Shots were tied at 26 there for a moment. Still a 1-1 game with just a couple minutes left to go. We are headed to overtime. Shots 34-30 for the Predators. What a matchup this has been. Very evenly matched. Both goalies playing well. We're headed to a shootout. Who's going to take it? It's the Predators, as Pelech scores for us, but Svechnikov and Reed score for them. A 2-1 shootout loss. So now is the time where we will take a little bit of a pause. We've gone a bit further than we usually go before we take a stoppage. Oh goodness, 45 points in 35 games for Trevor Wong. So through 35 games, we have a very solid record. We're top team, 56 points. Let me see. Yeah, we are top team in the NHL. The Predators right behind us at 53 points, but they do have 4 games in hand. So that's where they could definitely pass us. But let's check out the points here. Trevor Wong, just call him the dish man. 2 goals and 43 assists. Plus 23. What an absolute monster. Just loves to give out the puck. Very selfless. 99 passing, 99 deking, 99 puck control. Duke Silver has 42 and 35, Tolvin and 38, Pelech 35, Anderson 35. So 1, 2, actually Pittis has 34 and 29. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players who are a point per game or more. Reed Pitton, Quinn Shannon 32 and 31. Marchand in his rookie season has 29 points in 35 games. Cole Perfetti 25 and 35, also very selfless, 5 goals, 20 assists. Quinn Hughes 18, Lindback 14. Sutter had 10 points in 32 games before he was injured. Kovanov 8, Popovich 4. Bennington only 4 points in 35 games. Morozov, a sniper, 2 assists in 35 games. Now that's something we might have to fix moving forward. Kasparaitis in 4 games has 1 assist. Lapierre -3 in 6 games. Come on, Bello. In nets, Bentley 21, 4-4 with 3 shutouts, an 897 save percentage, 2.68 goals against. But look at Steven Beck, 5-1-0 with no shutouts, 905 save percentage, 2.67 goals against. Very good backup numbers from him. Let's check out around the entire NHL, but yeah, we could really use some help on the 4th line down there. In the entire NHL, Massimiliano Bio with 51 points leads the league with Mikey Bruno right behind him. Sebastian Aho at the age of 35 still getting it done. Rory Cherry, and then it's Trevor Wong followed by Tony Klingenberg, Duke Silver. So lots of creative players, but Trevor Wong is holding his own up here. Christian Vesalainen, don't see him up here too often. The 2-way forward. Elias Pettersson at the age of 34, Draisaitl at the age of 37, they all still get it done. Eichel at the age of 36, Barkov 37. There's going to be a big retiring class coming soon in the NHL. Looking at all goalies, I'm sure Bentley still leads for wins at least. He's tied with Gustafsson. So Gustafsson, great season from him though, 921 save percentage. But Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is the man to really look out for. 934 save percentage and a 2.11 goals against average. That is just crazy. He's been on the Canucks his whole career. He is a monster. Those are unheard of numbers. Just crazy stuff. Bentley with 21 wins is tied for the lead there, but Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Philip Gustafsson 83 and 86 overall. Then here's Mackenzie Blackwood at 82 at the age of 36. He's still a monster. And then Eddie Fontaine is at 91 and his numbers are barely better. Oh man, I really hate how overalls mean nothing. But yeah, looking at just rookie skaters as well, does Marchand lead the NHL? Yes, he does, with Elliot Hoffman right behind him. Look at, oh my goodness, 18 goals and 6 assists. 24 points for him, but Marchand with 29 thus far. So that's a little update on the points. Let's check out our team here. Do we have to fix power play, penalty kill, anything? We have it's not a good penalty kill at all. It's like we have such a great record, but behind the scenes, it's always ugly, man. It's ugly. 27.4% on the power play, second best in the NHL, which is not bad. But then penalty kill at 73.8, the second worst penalty kill in the NHL. Oh, wow. We got to fix the penalty kill, and we got to fix the 4th line. I got to consider trading Yuri Morozov. So Skylar Pelech with his 5-star defense and 94 overall presence, he can be a new penalty killer for us. I tried to give it to Kavanov, didn't work out. Skylar Pelech, get in there, just a little extra ice time for you. Already playing about 20 minutes a night. But Yuri Morozov, man, I gotta fix this 4th line. 2 assists, -1. I know he's only playing 8 minutes a night. That's why he gets a little bit of slack. But 2 assists in 35 games. How does Kavanov have 8 points? Bennington has 4 points at least, but 4 points is still really nothing to be too impressed about. So if I could move Bennington back to the right wing, I could get a better second line, a fourth line left winger, playmaker, either a sniper. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a left wing sniper for the fourth line, but they don't really usually do that well. I don't know, maybe two-way forward. I'll look into it. I think I may have found the hopefully perfect fit. Brendan Perlini from the Predators. He has 20 points in 31 games, playing as a second liner, but he's a left wing sniper. 36 years old, last year of his contract. Brendan Perlini, let's see if we can get him a Stanley Cup. He has been a bit of a fall from grace in his career in the playoffs. Yeah, he hasn't done anything in the playoffs, so he would like to win a Stanley Cup. Unless did Dallas win it in that early season here, 2020? No, I don't think they won it. Did they win it in the first season? I don't know. But either way, first round pick in 2014, never really became much. Let's see if we can trade for him for the fourth line, because we know that our fourth liners next year are all going to mostly be people promoted from San Diego, hopefully. So if I could trade them Yuri Morozov, I think that's a pretty fair deal. Morozov for Perlini straight up. They do want him as well. Still trade rejected though, which doesn't make any sense. I guess if you take into consideration their performances, it does, but this guy's a computer. How does he know what he's talking about? Morozov in a fourth, still trade rejected. Isn't sufficient at all. How about Rome here? Tony Rome. He has 30 points in 27 games, which is pretty good. Two-way forward, I don't know, 20 years old, 66 overall, blah, whatever. Let's throw him in. Rome and Morozov for Perlini and a pick. See if I can squeeze 2/5 out of it. Trade accepted. Thank you very much, Nashville. Perlini, welcome to the team. Morozov, sorry that it didn't work out. You knew that you weren't going to stay here after the season since you were demanding too much money. You weren't getting it done, and that's when changes have to be made. So Brendan Perlini, welcome to Honolulu Huskies. Mr. 36-year-old sniper for the fourth line. Slot him in right there. Doesn't give it a plus. Oh my goodness, he really does not fit that line at all. But hopefully just as a 0 won't be too bad. If anything, I could change his player. No, player type wouldn't change much. It's the line fit that really matters. But oh boy, hopefully it works out. Let's get some more simulation done and see what we look like with the new penalty kill and the new fourth line upgrades. So we'll move into the month of January. Let's go see our rivals, the San Jose Sharks, when we play against them. We've already played against them a couple times, and we will play against them again. But let's see them in January. So far, so good. 5-3 win against Florida, then a 9-1 win against Vegas. How about that? Closing in on 30 wins on the year. 2-1 against the Oilers. Can we get 30 wins before we get more than 5 losses in regulation? Yes, we can. 35-4 is our record with a 2-1 win there against St. Louis. Against the Sharks, we beat them 5-4 in a shootout. Through 40 games, we are absolutely killing it. The Flames, we beat them 8-1. We beat the Kings 3-2. There we go. We're on a nice little stretch now. No changes for San Diego either. We're on a nice little stretch. Let's keep it up. Don't stop if you don't have to. 5-3 win against the Oilers. There we go. Sutter should be back soon from his MCL. There he is. Just speak the devil. But we'll keep him out for a little bit more. 3-2 win against the Bruins. And here we are against the Sharks. I'm not sure if he's healed yet. I don't think he's back until another week or so, actually, fully from his MCL sprain. So we are 35-5-4 as we're on a great winning streak right now. Trevor Wong just getting more and more assists. Let me see what I can do to the lineup here in NHL and AHL. All right, so AHL lines are fixed. Sutter's not back from his MCL sprain yet, so we won't force him back too early. Don't want to rush, but here we go against the Sharks. We're at 21-16-5. We're at 35-5-4 on a great winning streak. Let's see if we can keep it up at home, I believe, as well, on top of Diamond Head Arena. Let's do it. First on Diamond Head Volcano. First period, Duke Silver 1-0. Second period, 4-2. Quinn Shannon scores twice. Quinn Hughes scores once. Jesper Volkvist and Gabriel Mara score for the Sharks. We're up 4-2 here in the third period. Man, it's been a crazy episode so far. Like, I know it has been super, super long, but I've just been doing all kinds of trades and lines and injuries, and I feel like this is the longest episode I've ever recorded, and it's not even midway through January yet. 4-2 is the score still. 5-2 now as Sheldon Marchand puts it away, and we will win against our rivals, the San Jose Sharks, comfortably. 2 goals for Shannon, goal and assist for Silver with 7 hits, and a goal and an assist for Quinn Hughes, as that is win number 36 on the season. We are getting closer and closer to claiming an eighth consecutive President's Trophy. So we'll just keep the good times going for now, and we'll simulate at least up until Toronto. I think that's when I'll bring Sutter back from his MCL sprain, unless we lose like 3 in a row or something. But we're currently on like a double-digit win streak here. So against Tampa Bay, there it is. We lose 3-2. Vegas Golden Knights. Here comes a 3-game losing streak, right? Broken nose for Lane Quick. All right. You know what? Kasparaitis actually would need to fill in for Quick. So while I'm here, I might as well just send him down, and Sutter can come back to play right now. So Kasparaitis will go. He has to go through waivers? What? I think he'll clear, though. All right, so Sutter's back in there, and I believe he cleared Kasparaitis? Yeah, of course he would. Why would anyone claim a 73 overall defenseman who's 26 years old? So there we go. That's all fixed up. Yaquin Joseph being placed on waivers by the Flyers. He's a defenseman, 78 overall, medium top 6, two-way, 6'5", from Poland. No, I'm okay. I'll decline that. 4-3 loss. Of course, I said here comes a 3-game losing streak, and then there it is. We lose 3-2 against Tampa, 4-3 against Vegas. Let's see the loss here against Vancouver. No, we win 3-2. Broke the spell. And now Marchand has an injured knee. Some seasons sometimes I get no injuries for like 3 straight years, and then other times I get 7 injuries in 2 weeks. Okay, another one done. Flyers, we beat them 5-4, and then the Maple Leafs right before the All-Star break, who are 20-22-7. We beat them 8-1. My goodness. So heading into the All-Star break, through 50 games, we have a record of 39-7-4. Let's just sim through the break. We won't sim this game against the Devils. We'll take a quick pause to put Quick back in the lineup in San Diego, and Marchand back in the lineup in the NHL, and take a quick gander at the point totals. MCL sprain. Are you serious? You just can't catch a break with these injuries. What's going on this season? It doesn't make sense. While I'm here for the All-Star break, I also just want to send out another contract offer to Pelican Lindback. He wanted 8 years, 12.7 or something, but for 7 years, he'll take 12.225. So let me try to get him for 7 years at 12.875, which is a little bit more than 500K of what he wanted. So closer to 600K actually. And then for Mats Lindback, for Quinn Hughes, he's down to wanting 12 million, which at 85% would be 12.85, but still 3.5 million more than he's making now, and I still can't afford that. Let me try 4 years at 9.050 million. 4 years at 9.050 million for Mats Lindback. Taking a quick look at the points now on the 30th of January through 50 games. Trevor Wong, 57 points, leading the way. Great to see him doing so well. 50 assists on the year. Duke Silver, 56. Tolvanen, 54 at the age of 33. Ezra Pittis has 50 in 44. Ellis Anderson, 49. Quinn Shannon, 48. Skylar Pellick, 48. Not too many people at a point per game or over, but everyone's hovering around that area. Reed Pitton, 47. Perfetti, 44. Marchand, 38 in 49. Quinn Hughes, he's down to a 90 overall now. His days are numbered. He'll be traded within the next 3-4 weeks or so. He's a plus 36 this season. What a monster he has been. Only 4 penalty minutes as well. Reed Pitton, only 2 penalty minutes. Give him the Lady Bing. Lady Bing never actually goes to the person who has the least amount of penalty minutes, though. Doesn't make sense. Brendan Perlini, in his time in San Diego, he has played 15 games, 0 points, -3. All right, great job, Brendan. You are shameful. Sutter, 11 points in 35 games. Kovanov, 10 in 50. Popovich, Menino, plus 34. Lapierre, -2, 7 games. Great job. I went out and traded for you for nothing, it seems like. Bentley is 31, 6-4 with 3 shutouts, a 900 save percentage, 2.63 goals against. And look at Steven Beck, 8-1-0, 9-16, and a 2.26 goals against average. So the goalies are definitely coming through for us so far this season. In the entire NHL, it is Tony Klingenberg with 76 points leading the way. A couple old boys here, Pedersen, Aho. Jinkyo Chong is actually leading NHL defenseman in points for the first time in a long time. Ellis Anderson isn't even first. He's third. No, sorry, not even second. He's third. Alessandro Girante, 51 points, another created player, breaking all his career numbers, it seems like, thus far. 51 points in 52 games for him. Jinkyo Chong has 66 and 50. Ellis Anderson, 49 and 50. He got to pick it up if he wants to win like an 8th consecutive James Norris trophy. But I don't think it would kill him too much to give up the title just for one season. He'll take his cups instead. Bentley's still looking good. Gustafsson still has great numbers. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen still has great numbers as well. As of now, I'd probably give the Vezina to Philip Gustafsson. But let's keep on rolling. Oh, sorry, the penalty kill. I have to say, please, did we improve the penalty kill? Yes, we did. Not by much, by 3% or so. It's still at 76.6, which could be much better. Our penalty kill of 29.1 is still second best in the NHL, and our penalty kill at 76.6 is at the bottom half, but still not as bad as it was before. So the trade deadline is almost upon us. We'll have to trade Quinn Hughes soon. We're going to simulate. Let's go to the game against the Hurricanes. No, they're 20, 25, and 4. Let's go see the Wild. Somehow they're 23, 27, and 2, but Alessandro Girante is just a pure monster, the Italian defenseman. So we'll see what we can do up against them once we get closer. And oh my goodness, Mats Lindback extended. Thank goodness. Didn't cost us too much. 9.05 is still expensive, but would have cost even more in free agency. And what about Skylar Pelech? Yes, Skylar Pelech, let's go. Even cheaper than what I tried to offer him earlier in the season. So Pelech and Lindback are both on board. That would have been a nightmare to try to let them go to free agency and then sign them for a boatload of money. So that is great to see. They are locked up. 2 huge fixtures here on this team. They've been here their whole career, drafted here and everything. But man, 6-3 win, 3-2 win, 3-0 shutout win, 6-4 win against Dallas, up against the Edmonton Oilers. Don't want to make that trade. Come on, 4-1 win. We are 44-7-4. What a record this season. Our franchise record is at 63 wins, I think. This could be a year where it could be broken. First and a third to Detroit for Dylan Larkin and Jake DeBrusk going to Vancouver. Interesting move there. New York Islanders, come on, 3-1 win. Win number 45 right there. Jennings and Brathwaite for a first and a second. I don't want to trade those prospects. Why do they keep asking me for them? Philadelphia Flyers, 6-3 win. Burakovsky and Brophy for a couple prospects. First and a third, no thank you. Carolina Hurricanes, that's why it goes so slow in February, because there's so many different trades going on and trade offers coming in. Rogers and Drury for Dursey and Ritchie. I wouldn't really call that a blockbuster. 7-5 win against the Hurricanes, 4-2 win against the Sharks. My goodness. Are we going to hit 50 wins like a week before the deadline here? Radish and Lindbaum for a second, a third, and a prospect. Interesting. Hurricanes, we play them again. Now this time we lose 6-5 in a shootout. Okay. The 2 high-scoring matches against them over the course of a week. 4-1 win against the Kings. Now we're here up against the Minnesota Wild for the search. Arthur Kaliyev, former Husky, goes to Winnipeg from Buffalo in search of win number 50 on the season before hitting even 8 regulation losses. We have 103 points. We are just insanely good this year, man. It's just not fair. Up against Minnesota, they've gone into the winning column now. They're 31-28-4. They were like 23-27-4 before. Maybe 3 weeks ago. First period, 1-1. Genze, former Husky Sebastian Genze and Reed Pitton. Second period, 2-2. Alice Anderson and Alessandro Girante, the 2 created defensemen for each respective team. Tied at 2 here in the third period. Harkins gives Minnesota the lead, 3-2 now. A fourth of the way into this period. I don't know who this goalie is, but I don't think he's anything special. Let's go, boys. Power play. Let's break through that wall. Killed off. Come on. Nothing to say here. We can't score a goal. Oh my goodness. Silver scored with 46 seconds left, but only 3 goals on 34 shots against that goalie. Oh man, that was a disgusting outing. 4-3 loss. We shouldn't have lost that one. But 49-8-5 is our record. Let's see if we can simulate through the game against the Canadiens and hit 50 wins right here before the deadline. It's almost time to make our trade for Quinn Hughes. He has to show us something. This could be his last game in a Husky uniform. He's been here for a while. Up against Montreal. Can we get the win? Yes, we do. 4-1 victory. We're 58-5. What a record thus far, boys. Through 63 games. Now we're going to have to figure out where do we trade Quinn Hughes and for who / for what. So 74 points for Duke Silver leads the way. Trevor Wong has 62 assists and 70 points. But boy, it's going to hurt to trade Quinn Hughes, man. Plus 44 this season. What a monster. Or do we just keep him and keep him through the playoff run. He's been here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. This is his 5th full season. He's played 1, 2, 3, 4 full seasons. He came here at the deadline in 2028, and now he's played 63 games so far in 2032-33, 927 points in his career. In his playoff career, he has 4 Stanley Cup rings on these last 4 runs right here. Interesting that 3 of our last 4 Stanley Cup wins came in 23 games. That's interesting to note. But he has just been so good for this team. It's going to hurt to trade him, but he's 33 years old. He wants a big contract. The question is, do we trade him now, or do we just let him go to free agency? I don't want to waste all that trade value. He has almost a full bar of trade value, but it would be a huge hole in our team to take him out. So that's what we need to figure out. Quinn Hughes, his trade value, yeah, it's up here. It's close to a full bar, but we are getting closer to the end of the season, which makes it drop a little bit on an expiring deal. Let's browse through the trade blocks and see if there's anything interesting. We're looking for picks, prospects, anything else. Maybe a defenseman that could help us out. 2 first-round picks on the block. Well, actually, almost everyone has their first-round pick on the block. Ulevi, Brock Bester, making $10 million, is on the block. Quinton Chichu, is that his name? Quinton Chichu, this guy, yeah, 85 overall, 2-way forward. That's interesting on the last year of his deal from the Hurricanes. But to be honest, it's either a defenseman, prospects, or picks. I can't take back a forward that would make the NHL roster unless he'd be a 4th liner, because there's just no room. Tony D'Angelo, Barrett Hayton, not much over here. Elias Anderson, Nick Suzuki, Colin White, prospect, Elias Shesterkin. Tony, I traded this guy there. Why? They already put him on the block. Elias Shesterkin, more draft picks, prospects. None of them have a ton of trade value. Like this, around this trade value is probably around the highest that you'll see on the block. Bufflin there, first Schlappick, Quinton Byfield, Sillinger, Valimaki, 4 years left, no chance. First round picks, Kuznetsov could be 4th line center. Arthur Kaliev, they just traded for him, now they want to trade him away. Kuznetsov, 4 goals, 7 assists in 26 games. So yeah, not much on the trade blocks, that's for sure. We'd have to trade for a player or for a pick, like we said. So if I went to player search, I just want to look at young defensemen who are still on entry-level deals, who I could try and trade for. Who, let's say, are at least 84 overall, let's say, on an entry-level deal. 4 of them: Petrie, Turris, O'Reilly, and Franzen. No chance I'm taking O'Reilly or Franzen. Turris only has 1 year left on his deal. Petrie, it would cost me a bit to get Petrie. I'd have to trade Hughes and something to get this guy. He's a 2-way defenseman. He has 26 points in 63 games this year. Not a big points guy. 4-star defense, 4.5-star skating, 4.5-star physical, 5-star puck skills. So I don't really know if I want to get this guy, to be honest. I wouldn't be able to keep him very long either. I have defense in the system. It wouldn't be a bad deal. I have my plan with Popovich and Kaigorodov. It wouldn't be a bad deal. It would be more for going out and getting prospects. But the problem is, all the good prospects are like NHL ready. There's not a lot of prospects who are like tons of trade value and 72 overall. But let me go out and try to see if there are. Let's say at least 4 stars, which is elite potential, and we'll say overall of maybe 68 to 79. That's pushing it a little bit. Let's see, 263. Okay, I didn't refine that enough, I don't think. Let's try and let's try as well the age max as well. Yeah, it's true, the age. So let's say max age of 21 years old for someone who really has a lot of value, because the older they get, the lower it goes. That brings the results down to 64. Still not a lot of people who are interesting. It's just there's this guy Hill, Kenneth Hill. I've seen him a lot in the last few years. He's been a prospect for a few years in the WHL. Good stats for the WHL. Left wing sniper. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe Kenneth Hill is someone to go after. Or Adrian Worrell, a grinder. He could be a future 4th liner for us, Adrian Worrell. Then after that, there's just a lot of these guys. I could get a couple of these guys if there were 2 who are on the same team. It doesn't seem like there are. I don't see much from the same team. These 2 guys are both on Colorado. Phaneuf and Tutu here are both on Washington, so is Pearson. So, I don't know, maybe I want Pearson, Tutu, and Phaneuf? I don't know. So there's a lot of possibilities. Do we keep Quinn Hughes? Do we trade him? If we do trade him, what do we trade him for? Should we make any changes to the fourth line? Should we make any changes to the penalty kill? Should we make any other trades? This is our contract situation as well for any other expiring deals of players who we may want to trade. We're in a pretty good spot right now. If we go to all expiring, there's not a lot of guys we need to resign. Quinn Hughes, he would take, I have 5 million of extension. Not that he would take 5 million. That would have been crazy. We have 5 million of extension, so Quinn Hughes, he's not going to be here next season, that's for sure, but we got to figure out what's going on. Binnington, he would want 1.4. I don't know if he's going to come back. Kovanov, I could probably maybe get him back. I don't know. There's a few ideas of what we could do. So I'm also a degenerate because I totally forgot to go out and sign an associate coach at the beginning of this season. I am just so frazzled. It looks like we're still doing super well without one, but I'm going to go out and sign an associate coach as well as AHL assistant coach and goalie coach, and you'll see next episode if they sign. I'm really sorry about that. I can't believe I forgot to do that. So I have to go out and get somebody who we have good teaching. Maybe someone who's, maybe it's the penalty kill that's killing us. No, A+, A, C-, no. Maybe I should get someone who's good at power play, someone who's good at special teams at least. An associate coach who has a good team fit and is good at special teams. So I'll figure that out in the next episode. Well, I'll do that right now, but I'll figure out in the next episode. It is also February 25th, which means I'll go and update the scouting as well. So that'll be the stuff that I'll do off camera. So that's it for this one, boys. Please let me know your thoughts. I need to hear them because there's a few different ideas. I'm probably most likely my idea is to trade Hughes for Hill and more, Kenneth Hill, that prospect, just to try and get another good guy in our system. But that's about it. 58-5 is our record here in February. What a season. We're on pace by far to get an 8th consecutive President's Trophy, and we're going to be soaring into the playoffs looking for a 5th straight Stanley Cup. So thank you so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, we've already clinched a playoff spot. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Putting out lots of NHL, FIFA, and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated content. So let me know your thoughts. I'm looking forward to seeing it in the comments, and I will see you in the next one where we will look to finish off a historic season.